I missed y'all. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is Slow Crochet. I'm not going to be numbering my episodes anymore. That is one of the changes I'm going to be making in 2025. Yes, as of today, it is 2025. Well, the day that you're seeing it. Today that I'm seeing it is actually December 26th, 2024. And I just hit a milestone. I guess anything ending in a 5 or a 0 could be considered a milestone, but despite the fact that I have not been uploading the past couple of months, I hit 5,500 subscribers today, and I thought that's pretty cool. So I wanted to jump on here and go ahead and record. My family is out enjoying a gorgeous, beautiful, warm afternoon here in December. And so while it's quiet, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys and kind of explain where I've been the last little bit. Now, why am I here? I said I was gone. Well, basically, yeah, I did miss you guys. I missed being able to share my heart, my little yarny adventures, the things that I've been making, the things that I've been thinking about. But it was a really good thing that I took a little bit of time off. And it's really given me pause, and I still haven't quite figured everything out yet. I guess that's what it means to be human. You never really have it all figured out, and we are growing and changing. We're all works in process. We're going from glory to glory. But here I am thinking about my November and December and how full and busy they have been. And even though there's been a lot of wonderful memories made, a lot of that entails a lot of prep work and cleaning the house because you're hosting and making sure that everyone's favorite foods are available. And anyway, on and on it goes. And so my responsibilities outside of YouTube and really the things that I put on myself, right? Like I want to have a clean house when I have people over, for example. All of that just meant that I had a little less energy to devote to YouTube. And since I had already decided to take that time off, it gave me a little bit of more freedom. It gave me some time to breathe. It gave me some time to just do some projects that I didn't really care if they were great or not, and just bust some stuff out without feeling like I was responsible to film everything that is relative to crochet. Now, that in itself is a revelation, right? Before I started this channel, I would just do whatever I wanted to do. And maybe I would talk to a friend about it and people would always see me working on projects, but I didn't really have an online community per se. And so the other thing is, as much as we try to avoid it, the YouTube algorithm can suck you in, and it really does seem to reward those who are consistent in their uploads. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to do whatever I'm doing with excellence. And I also wanted to make sure that folks out there who enjoyed my content were getting it at a regular interval. So all that to say, it was a breath of fresh air to take a little bit of time off, to really focus on the family, to kind of take the reins off with my crochet and kind of let loose a little bit. And in the meantime, I had been filming little clips with the wondering hope that I might come back. So here I am. Now, just in general, I do all of my filming in one take. I don't really do much editing. I don't do a lot of planning. All those things just don't fit into my life right now. This is a small piece of a hobby. But at the same time, whatever I do put out into the world, I want to make sure that I do it with my full heart behind it. So with that in mind, looking forward, number one, in January, I do want to take some of the clips of the things that I filmed, just bits and pieces here and there, maybe yarny acquisitions, maybe things that I was making around the holidays, and put those into videos for y'all to see, just because I do miss getting to share some of that. So all that will be coming here in the month of January. But furthermore than that, I really don't know what shape this channel is going to take. I don't think I will be reporting every week on the things that I'm working on. Maybe I'll make that like a monthly or twice a month kind of thing. I don't know that I'll be able to participate in as many crochet alongs. Change is such a consistent thing in life. And I do anticipate that 2025 is going to have a lot of things that I wouldn't have expected. That's actually the sign of a life well lived, in my opinion, when you can look back and say, a year from now, I never imagined that this would be my life. And not that any stage of life is particularly easy or particularly hard. I think in general, life is just hard, and the choices that we make kind of determine the type of hard that our life will be. So within crochet, which is meant to be something life-giving, something creative, something restoring to the soul, I really do want this channel, at least in the production side, to be a place where it's not hard, where it is kind of minimal in terms of what I have to put into it, but also to be able to look at what I've created, and even from the video standpoint, and know that it's authentic to who I am. And at the end of the day, it's just me reaching out to you, getting excited about something that makes my heart come alive, and being able to share that with other people that share that same joy. Last year, around this time, I made a video about what I hope to accomplish in crochet in this year, and I actually had to go back and rewatch that video because I wasn't sure on everything that I included. And it was really amusing to me to see the things that I expected to do, the things that I did accomplish, and the things that I didn't. One of the things that was consistent from what I hoped to accomplish in crochet was to focus on wearables. And that's something that I think I accomplished fairly well. I ended up making 4 at least sweaters. 5. No, I made my ugly Christmas sweater, made my wrap sweater, I made my fluffy blue alpaca blend sweater, I made my wool-y sweater. Oh, and I made my block stitch sweater. At the beginning of the year, I only had 2 of those sweaters that I thought I was going to make, and I even had yarn set aside for another, and I ended up gifting that. The texture wasn't right, and this is something that I'm learning, right, as you do. What am I actually signing up for in terms of a project? If it's a scratchy yarn that doesn't feel that great in my hands, am I going to want to make an entire garment out of it? So instead, this coming year, I have I have at least 4 sweaters worth of cardigans. I have at least 4 sweaters worth of yarn that I do want to create into projects. I also have a lot of cotton yarn that is going to be a top. I have several shawls that I want to do. In terms of shawls, there were some surprises this year and some that I did create that I really enjoyed. I remember starting this year wanting to do a black shawl, and I had the pattern picked out. I completed that and loved it. But then I had some others that I just didn't ever get around to, and then some surprise ones as well. I did a lot of amigurumi this year. I think one of my favorites is actually this guy over here, the Lunatone Pokemon that I attempted by modifying a pattern for a moon, because that Pokemon pattern is, it's not a very popular Pokemon, but I happen to love it, and there wasn't a pattern available that I could easily access, and so coming up with just modifying a pattern, that made me feel really empowered, and it was evidence of how much I've grown over this time. You see Mushroom Cat, that was a whole experience, and you see my little Duncan the Mouse up there too. These are just little pieces of evidence of how I've grown in amigurumi this year, and it's been through friends on YouTube that have pushed me outside of my comfort zone and encouraged me, maybe not by overtly inviting me, but just with the general, we're going to do a crochet along. It's allowed me to stretch outside of what I normally would have gone to and really learn to enjoy the process. Another thing that's been really helpful in the world of amigurumi was finally figuring out a good hook combination with the yarn that I tend to use. And when I picked up a size F Hero vintage hook, that for me has been wonderful for working with worsted weight yarn. So that is my go-to for amigurumi. And having a hook that I really like has made that a whole lot easier for me. Am I anticipating doing a lot of amigurumi this year? No, I'm not. I do find that unless it's for a specific child or a specific purpose, I don't really have a lot of use for these things. And so that is something important for me to think about, at least for me. When I make something amigurumi, it's going to sit somewhere. what am I going to do with it? I don't want to acquire just to acquire. If I'm going to make something, I'd like to at least be able to use it. And if I can't use it, then someone else can. So little bits and pieces like that are fine, but I don't think I'll be doing quite as much amigurumi in the year 2025. I am definitely not going to limit myself on yarn purchases any more than I normally do. I know I'm pretty consistent with keeping to a budget. That's not really something I struggle with. But for me, I think I am going to be even more thoughtful about what I am making, the shapes that I'm making, the textures, the colors. And something that I'm really interested in is thinking about longevity. As long as it takes to make a lot of these pieces, I want to be really sure that they are pieces that are going to be wardrobe staples. I'm really enjoying that about the sweaters that I've made this year, like the pullover style sweaters. I've worn them so consistently, and as I'm wearing them, yes, I'm enjoying it, but I'm also thinking, what if I had gone just a slightly different shade in this yarn? What if I had done such a slightly different shape? How would I enjoy this even more? And so sometimes it's the little nuances. I guess maybe that's evidence of the point that I'm at in crochet, where I want to look at those little nuances and see how I can turn something wonderful into something even better. Is it possible? I think so. That's part of that growing in the craft and knowing ourselves a little bit more. In that regard, there are a lot of different theories, a lot of different perspectives on style, on color, on shape, on proportion. And so I think in 2025, as I start working into the stash that I have, I really want to be cognizant about not just the patterns that I'm choosing, but how I spend the time to make sure that the pieces I'm creating fit me, fit my lifestyle, fit my personality, and even just fit my physicality, my proportions, my coloring, that kind of thing. So maybe you'll see some videos more specifically about those kind of concepts and systems and thought processes, lenses, theories, all that kind of stuff. Maybe that will be coming in the future. I really don't know at this point. I'm a little bit flying by the seat of my pants, so you will be surprised along with me. I do want to take a minute to say a big thank you to everyone who's reached out to me, who's emailed me, who's responded when I've commented, like other YouTubers commenting on your videos. That's been a joy to be able to keep up with people that way. People who continue to comment on videos and connect with me that way. It really has been such a pleasure, and everyone has been so incredibly positive. Thank you guys for so much of your grace as I've taken that time off and taken those steps to be proactive in the things that really matter most in life. You know, just because I make something doesn't mean you gotta keep it. Just because I make something doesn't mean it's meant to last forever. But the things that are really important, you know, family, connection, community, the stuff in real life, right? I don't want to live life just through a screen. I want to be able to go out and live. And so thank you to everyone who's been so kind and so understanding as I've stepped aside from the screen to go out and be and live in life as well. Y'all have been so incredibly supportive, and it really is an honor to be part of your life. I don't take that for granted. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you to everyone who's commented and kept up with me. Thank you to everyone who likes these videos and has really been a part of my life. I really, really do appreciate y'all. I am not sure what video you will see next. I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be, how I'm going to make all this work. I actually did have to go into my editing software, and literally I tried to do this video and it said, nope, there is no more space. So I had to go through and clear out every project I'd made in my editing software in order to start anew. And maybe that's where we're at. It's a continuation, it's a new chapter, but I'm excited to be here with you. So thank you so much for being part of my little YouTube world, my little crochet adventure alongside of me. If for whatever reason I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I really do appreciate you, and I do hope I will see you again soon. Happy New Year. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is Slow Crochet. Yay, 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 yay.